Hey guys, welcome. Happy New Year. I appreciate you tuning into my channel, Stampin' with No. My name's Teresa and I am an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. Well, we are in January. Celebration has gone live and I'm excited about this. I want to talk super quick about all of this because the card that I'm going to show you actually features one of the items that you can earn for free during celebration. If you're not familiar with it, during the month of January and all the way through February, if you spend $60 or more on product from Stampin' Up, you can earn free products that's available in this celebration. Now, since it has gone live, I can show you, I can flip through. I'm not going to go through everything with you. And if you are one of my customers, you should have received one in the mail, your celebration brochure, along with the new spring mini catalog, which I'll show you super quick on that one too when we get to it. If you are not a customer but would like to receive the brochure and catalog, shoot me an email. My information is down in the description of this video. Just send me an email with your mailing address and I'll be happy to send you one. And unfortunately it would have to be US only, but I'll be happy and appreciate being your demonstrator. So for the stamp set that we're going to use is this super cute friendly Seagulls, and you can earn that for free when you spend $60 a product. I've got it earmarked right here. This is one, if you've watched my other video, that I made a comment that I actually flipped through it because I just didn't like it. It was too cutesy for me. And when I saw other demonstrators making cards with it, I fell in love with this little guy that is winking and holding the French fry. So that was one of my first purchases. The other one is some great 12 by 12 DSP that's in here that you can also earn for free with a $60 purchase. All right, so let me show you quickly the 12 by 12. And I did mention the spring mini catalog is live, and that's from January 7th through, I think it's at the end of April, I'd have to look at it, but through April 2025. And you can tell I'm in trouble. I did place an order the other day, and I was kind of sad because there were some things that I really wanted to work on this next month, and it's already on back order. But it won't take long for it to come in, so I just have to be a little bit more patient. And when I want something, I just have to, I keep telling you guys, if you see something, don't wait, and I just need to practice what I keep telling you guys. But I'm real excited about what's in these new spring catalog. All right, this is the DSP that you guys can earn for free, and again, it is called Bloom Impressions. Lots of pretty colors. Don't know how it's going to work with me flipping it through. Don't know if you can see both colors or not. I don't know if it's going to actually do it justice, but it's flowery. Yes, it's definitely flowery, but it's muted. It's not like a really sharp contrast, and I really like that look. It's something different, so I'm real happy with it, and I've played with it. So this is the card. It's actually a funfold. It's not going to be these colors. I have a upline that we always participate in swaps featuring the new and upcoming catalog. So in this case, it was using any of the products in the celebration brochure and or from the new spring mini catalog. So I chose the friendly Seagulls, and I always do a fun fold of some sort. I just like doing that when we're doing swaps. And this particular fun fold, get my tongue twisted here, is called Fold Back Pop-Up. And it opens up like a Z fold, but it has a little flap right here. I think it's also referred to maybe as a floating fun fold. That may be another one that's done. So this is what we're going to be working on today. I ended up making, oh, I don't know if it's 12 or 14 of these, and I meant to hold one kit for filming so I can show you guys how to assemble it. Well, you know, once you get the layout and all the stuff cut and all that, I was rocking and rolling, and it doesn't take at any time really to put this together once you have everything done. And before I knew it, I had all of them completely done. So I really wanted to do the video with this fold back pop-up. I'm hesitating when I say that. And so I ended up picking out other paper, just as pretty, but I'm not going to use it for the swap because it's not coming out of the paper and all that. It's not coming out of the spring mini catalog. So let me show you what we got here. I got some little pieces. All right. So we're going to start out with Misty Moonlight, and you want it to be 8.5 by 5 1/4, and you can tell I've already scored it, and you want to score at 2 1/8 and 4 1/4. The inside, which is basic white, is done, and that will measure 4 by 5 1/4. Another piece of cardstock, which is Misty Moonlight, and that is actually the floating part, the part that pops up right in here. And this one measures 2 15/16 by 2 15/16, and you want to score it diagonally. Now I tried one that was 3 by 3, just trying to keep easy math, and I did not like the way it laid out, so I trimmed it just a little bit, and it fit perfect where I can at least quickly do the 12 or 14 cards without any problems. The DSP comes from, where does it come from? Thoughtful Journey, and this is still available. It's not currently slated as a last chance item, but it is on low inventory, and you can tell I've actually gone through it. This is just, you know, more gorgeous, that muted pictures of the outdoors, the greenery, and I just absolutely adore it, love it. And so if this is something you're interested in, since it is on low inventory, I checked just a few days ago, it could very well be out, but do as I say, not as I do. If you really want this, please don't hesitate and go ahead and order that. So that is the DSP that we're going to be using, and you need one that measures 2 by 5 3/8. And there's another one here. 2 of the DSP, again, 2 by 2, and you need 2 of them. And we're going to eventually cut these diagonally, but I want to show you how I do that. I wanted to save that for the video. And then accent color is that Wild Wheat, and you'll need 2 of those that measure 2 by 2. Lots of 2s, right, guys? The basic white to stamp the Seagulls, and that will measure 1 7/8 by 1 7/8, and again you'll need 2 of those. And then a piece of scrap, approximately, because you want the words, you want to stamp the words, so about 3/4 of a width would be fine. And then I did about 3 inches, so you know, it's a piece of scrap, so it's whatever you actually find. All right, so if you guys like taking screenshots, this is your opportunity to do that before I take some of this stuff away. I have some people like doing screenshots of measurements instead of looking at the blog. I will include all of the measurements in my blog, but for those of you that like that. So I want to go ahead and let's get some stamping and put those aside, the other things aside. So let's see. I don't want to mess anything up. And then we'll do the diagonals in just a few moments. All right, so this is what we need. And because the stamp set is photopolymer, I'm going to bring over my foam mat just to give it a little bit more cushion. We'll start with him. And I will go over all the ink colors and whatnot as I use them to help hopefully keep it straight. So let's go ahead and we're going to do the inside. I'm going to stamp this little cutie with the French fry, and then I'm going to stamp the words French fries. We don't need that anymore. All right. Another good thing with this, I have a piece of scrap that actually has grid paper. Now, because I'm using this, the grid will, let me go back a minute. I stopped in mid-sentence, did I? I apologize for that. I love using my grid paper because I can line this up, and I find, I'll probably make a liar out of me. If I put my paper evenly across, I do a much, much better job of stamping in a straight line. This is the way my brain works, I guess. So what we want to do is try as best we can to find the center, because we're going to be adding DSP on the 4 corners. Now, you know, it doesn't have to be perfect, but you definitely don't want anything cut off. So just be mindful in the area as to which you stamp your stuff. Now, if you want to write a long message, this card is probably not designed for that unless you just get a piece of basic white and put your message on the back, and that would work just as well. All right, so we want to stamp this little dude, my favorite dude. Call him my little dude. And we want to use Tuxedo Black Memento since we are going to be using our blends, the alcohol blends. And let's see, where's my guy? All right, stamp, ink him up real good. I don't know what it is on photopolymer, if you'll see on my other videos. When I'm using the Memento, because it's a little bit stiffer, I find that I'm going in circles, trying to get ink. I don't know if you can see it. Trying to get ink on it, and then I tried it my best to always end with tap, or else sometimes it will have a streak in the stamped image. You try it, I think you'll understand what I was referring to. It's a little confusing sometimes if you're new to stamping. Do that. Great. Had to buy a new chamois, so I got to get it all dirty. It's time to do it. And let's see. I want to, I'm losing my little pieces here. The little bubbles part of the sand, and I'm going to use crumb cake. Let's stamp it up. Again, right there. It's a little close, but that's all right. I'm going to use him again, so I'm going to leave that. Stamp the other ones. And let's see what else we got here. Going to stamp French fry. I'm going to use Misty Moonlight. That will match the cardstock, which is also Misty Moonlight. Make sure I get the right words. French fries. All right, we got it. Ooh, I did not, I'm using a completely different set of colors, and I did not check to see if I had enough ink. There's a little bit of a dry spot there, but I think we're all right. I will make it work. We're done with the French fries. And since I've got Misty Moonlight open, I'm going to go ahead and stamp these words here, I love you more than, and that is on that piece of scrap Wild Wheat. You know, my least favorite color that I have just absolutely used a lot. I'm on my 3rd pack of Wild Wheat, which is just absolutely crazy. All right, I'm going to be trimming this down so it doesn't really matter if I'm not centered, if I'm off right or left. It really does not matter. All right, put you right there. We are finished with Misty Moonlight. And I got the other 2 pieces. We're going to go ahead and stamp these guys. And we don't want to stamp them centered with the square. We want it at a diamond shape, diagonal shape. And I use my grid to line up my points, which is great. And let's see here. Make sure I don't do the French fry guy again. See what I'm doing. And just kind of sort of centered, but I'm leaving a little room at the bottom for the crumb cake. Sand. And this one. That one may be a little bit high. I did, before videotaping, I did do 2 of these. I want to color one just to show you, but the other ones I went on and did ahead of time. Here we go. All right, and then I think we're done. Oop. Well, that almost was a mistake. Almost lost my ink pad. All right, back to the crumb cake. I want to use the sand bubbles. I don't know what that is. Just stamp it there. Right there. All right. So far, so good. Let me close this up before I drop that too. Been a little klutzy here. All right, I'm going to take these, move these aside. I already have 2 that are colored. I did that ahead of time. But I want to go ahead and color this guy so that you know the way I did it. And that you guys want to do it also. So again, I am using the blending brushes, blending alcohol markers. I have my blending brush within my line of sight, so I looked up right when I said that. All right, guys, this is alcohol blend markers. I use the light and dark smoky slate. I use the light pumpkin pie, and I actually use the Lost Lagoon. So let's start with the smoky. Now let's start with pumpkin pie. And another video, I used the Seagulls. The beaks were actually done in Cajun Craze. I decided to change it up because of the color of the DSP that I'm using. And decided to go with the light pumpkin pie. And I used the nub side and just a little bit right here. And I did not pull the yellow. Let me go get that real quick. All right, apologize for that. That is also, I'm just out of sync with all this stuff. So I also use the light wild wheat and the dark daffodil delight. All right, and with the French fry, just did a little bit, just a real quick line. And I wanted to darken it, so I brought in the wild wheat. And on my other video that I used this little cutie, I kind of go into a little bit better detail as to why. But the yellow was too yellow, and with mixing the 2 colors together, they blended really, really nice. All right, so now we're going to use the light and the dark smoky slate and the, I got the light on my hand. So the light on the nub side, on the tip of the wings, I just did, I don't know how to describe it, just like a real quick line just to color it. Nothing perfect. It's never perfect. That's what makes it awesome. And then the dark smoky slate, again, the nub side. I did this, I'm gonna call it the stripe. And I went real light. And like I've said before, if you are squeaking your marker, you're pressing way too hard. There we go. Now the Lost Lagoon, I don't know if you can see in here, I took the Lost Lagoon and just did a real quick line, nothing fancy, just kind of went with the flow of the outline just to bring in some color. I chose Lost Lagoon because of the DSP that I picked. It brought the color out. Now you'll notice that I've got my blends labeled. I do classes, and I guess it's a natural instinct when people want to pull the cap, they pull and twist. And I've had several of my blends unfortunately crack, and so I decided to go ahead and start labeling them. It has helped, so if you do classes, this may be something you want to consider. I still have to remind them, but I found if I use larger words that says pull, do not twist, that they're a little bit more mindful as to when they pull the cap apart in the blend marker. Sometimes I just have to do it for them. You know, sometimes there's, you know, some markers, some caps are just harder to pull than others. So all I'm going to do is the line, just go straight down, just one pass. There we go. And that is it. Easy peasy. All right, get these guys over, and we're gonna start folding and varnishing. Let's do that. I'm gonna get some pieces out of the way and make some room. So the Misty Moonlight card base can be folded. Nice, good crease. Try not to use your fingers. I know it's easy to do, but I find that if you use your bone folder, the card is just more crisp looking, and your fingers don't hurt. You're not getting little burns on your fingertips. All right, so it's basically a Z-fold. All right, so let's go ahead and get some gluing in here. So we know we want that in there. So let's go ahead and take care of that. Ooh, that came out a little much, but that's okay. I don't think this card's going anywhere. Let's do nice even. Try to get it even. All right. Then we have these two pieces of wild wheat that these two guys go on. So let's do that. Take care of that. I don't know if you guys placed your order yet. Got it earmarked, tabs on what you want to get. I'm really excited. If you're like me, as soon as you put the order in, you start looking to see, you know, what the status is. Are they picking it? Are they getting ready to ship it? It's like when you order from Amazon, you're just excited. I love when I get the email notice that says that my package is on the way. Although sometimes it's traveled more places than I have, depending on which mailing service it starts out. All right, so this one, we got those glued. Oh, here's the DSP that goes in the front. Love that paper. Gorgeous. It's gonna go like that. All right, and I think what's left is things that we need to cut that I actually want to show you. Sometimes it's easier to show you than to actually write it, a description in the blog. I'm finding that doing a video has become very, very helpful in that regard. All right, this one needs to be glued, but we're gonna wait. So I'm gonna get these out of the way. We need to bring over my trimmer. Let me go get that real quick. Ooh, I'm gonna end up hiding that. And let's see, I think we're good right here. Okay, so let's take this piece of Misty Moonlight. I went ahead and scored diagonally. Now, you don't have to. We're going to end up folding this, but I don't want to fold and burnish yet because we need to trim off a piece of this. I don't know if you guys can see right in here, there's, this was really where the other piece would be. If it was like this. So we need to trim a portion of this piece off. And the easiest way, and that's why part of the reason why I scored it, is I just find that it's much easier to see it, and it's also easier to fold and burnish. So we need to leave an approximate inch. So the way I did it is, here's the 1 inch. You guys can see that. There's the line, that's 1 inch. I put my corner piece on that, and then made sure that my bottom also lined up on the 1 inch. Just kind of take it up. Have to hold it down, and on my track we're going to be cutting this part off. All right, so we don't need that, so we're going to get rid of it. So here you go. Now we can go ahead and fold and burnish, and you can see on the other card that I made, it fits just like that. Okay, you guys can see that. All right, now we need to cut the 2 pieces of DSP that's going to go inside. Now, fortunately, the paper I picked, and wasn't planned, is not directional. So it doesn't matter which corners I actually decide to cut. Now, if this was directional, be mindful as to which direction you start to cut. For example, and I hope this makes sense, I'm going to twist going to the left to get the 2 points. I'm going to line that up and cut. Now, if this was directional, I need this other piece to go in the opposite direction, put it on the track, and cut it. And by doing that, that helps line up your corners to where your directional paper is not upside down or sideways. I hope that made sense. All right, so since this is not directional, it doesn't matter which way I turn it. So I'm going to line up the point on my track, both the top and the bottom, and I want to cut this diagonally. Now, you don't want to start cutting on the edge. You want to put your blade somewhere in the middle and then go down one side and then up the other. So hold that in place and then bring it back, and there you go. Nice clean cut. I'll put that right there. And the same thing on this one. Line it up, the points on the track. Close it. Nice, even. And there you go. All right, I'll get this out. We are done with that. And let's bring the card over, and we can go ahead and start gluing. So we'll go like that. Glue that down. Probably the hardest part of this card is if you actually do use directional, because it can get confusing. And I left a little bit of a gap here. You don't have to, but I do. And some of my cards that I did, the 12 or 14 that I did, the corners or the tips did not necessarily touch, but it was so narrow that it was really, the gap was so narrow that it was really difficult. And that's kind of pretty like that. It was different. You couldn't really tell. I mean, unless someone specifically looks for something that's wrong with it. But so, and this one just so happens to touch. So that's even better. And let's see. You know, sometimes when you're working with the corners, you start twisting your paper every which way. Wow, this is really pretty paper. It's kind of sad to see it get cut up. That's a bit of an overlap, but I'm gluing that down. All right, we are well on our way. All right, so the next trickiest, if I did everything right, everything's gonna line up. If not, well, oh well. I need to turn my card this way. So what we want to do, we want to make sure this green right here, we want to make sure there's an even gap here and here. So the best way to do it that I found is we're going to line this up. You want to focus this right here. Actually, since I have that up, I'm going to turn it this way. Guess it really doesn't matter. I'm going to put this point flush with the basic white. You want to make sure that you don't go over the card, and looking to make sure that there's this gap and this gap is pretty much even, and I just turned it. And the corner, ooh, perfect. The folded burnish part, once you glue it, is going to be right flush with that, and it is, as I can tell. So we want to put glue right here. Everything's good. Hold it down firm. Try not to move it, slide it. I'm going to put enough on there. And then when I close it, give it a good press, and there we go. And it was just a little short of being flush, but it's perfect. It's not a problem at all. You're not going to see it. Now we want these guys, and they're going to go right on the edge of here, this point and this point. So we want to glue what's on the left, and if I did this right, there's a slight overlap. So I want to put this point, make it flush with the Misty Moonlight card. Make sure you don't go over too much, or else. Now you can certainly use dimensionals, but because it was already folded, I decided just to go ahead and glue it down. And you want to make sure that this piece that you're gluing down covers, you know, just a slight overlap into the DSP so that you do not see any of the basic white. And let's see, we want this guy down here. Make sure I pay attention which side to glue. And again, the bottom, we're making flush with the card, and there is a slight overlap, but that's okay. You want to make sure that you don't see the basic white inside, and I do not. And they hit cute. Cute, cute, cute. Now this piece, I'm just going to trim the words, and I'm just going to glue those down flat. And just do straight cut and get my snips. And make sure these pieces don't go flying. That's what I say. I love you more. Super cute. I absolutely love this color. So, so, so pretty. All right. And I staggered the words, so, you know, when you stagger some of your sentiments, it takes away from it being perfect, and that's okay. I'm going to do that one kind of sort of straight. And then the other ones, make sure I don't mix my words up. I love you more. Make sure I don't put the word than first. That would be crazy. But you know, I would probably send it to somebody, a certain person, a friend of mine who will get a kick out of it. She'll say, yep, there we go. Wow, I absolutely love those colors. Crazy. Here we go. There we go. Here's that one, and that one, and here's another one I did in a different color. All so super cute. Personally, I think this fold is pretty easy once you kind of master the what you need to do with the cutting and the diagonal and all of that, and just being careful if it's directional DSP. I hope you like it. I hope you've enjoyed it. Don't forget, if you're in need of catalogs, please reach out to me. I'll be happy to send you one in the mail. Be happy to be your demonstrator. And leave a comment if you like this kind of fun fold thing. I thought it was kind of fun. Again, it's the fold back pop-up card. And thanks for tuning in. Appreciate it. You enjoy it, give me a thumbs up. I enjoy getting those. I know whether or not I'm on the right track with all of these videotaping. And as always, I wish you guys a wonderful day. Have a great week. Stay warm for those that are in the cold states. And take care. Happy stamping to you all. Bye.